Hi, I'm WasabiNoise and I'm building my first Eurorack modular synthesizer. I bought this excellent case made in Barcelona, link in the description. I'm also the author of this comment. I want to make a video explaining every module I bought, but this is not an easy task. But I want to tell you the steps I took to decide what to buy, and my experience so far with modular. If you are interested in that, keep watching. I've been experimenting with sound design, I've been experimenting making ambient synthwave, space wave music. And I also experimented a bit with generative music. Check the timestamps in the description. I have always been into software and MIDI controllers. I started a long time ago with Fast Tracker and Reason. The cool thing about software today is that it has significant versatility. And as long as your computer can handle it, you can add endless instruments, tracks, effects, and more. These are some of the reasons why I never felt the need of having a hardware synth. But I've been listening to other artists' music and what they do. And some people make amazing music using modular. Sometimes these musicians make beautiful sounds or ambient music that shows you how powerful these can be if you put in the work, or even occasionally you can have a happy accident and find an awesome sound. And when I spoke with people from the community, they're very passionate about this. And there are a lot of YouTubers that make amazing videos explaining how modules work, how everything works. And yeah, I find that the community is very cool and very welcoming. But wait, if software is so great, why not install a virtual modular synth? Enter VCV Rack. VCV Rack is a Eurorack simulator, and it's free. And many of its modules are actually recreations of actual models. You can also expand and buy premium modules. Truth is that you can do a lot without paying a dime. VCV Rack can help you understand modular and understand the mechanics of modulating using voltage, even when this voltage is virtual. So I spent some time patching the cables in VCV Rack to understand how this works, using the Trigger Step Pro as a MIDI controller the same way I use it now with the actual Eurorack. So check it out before spending any money on actual hardware. I recommend this as a first step to get your fundamentals right. And some may find that VCV Rack is enough, or that maybe this modular thing is not for them. After spending some time with VCV Rack, I decided to buy my first module. So where do you start when you're not familiar with Eurorack modules? There are endless resources, Discord, forums, YouTube videos. But there's one website that rules them all. Everyone in the community visits that website, ModularGrid. ModularGrid is a database with more than 10,000 modules that you can browse and search. It also allows you to build and plan your rack. On paper, this one is not a simulator, so you can check how your shiny modules will look on your rack before spending any money, and organize them in the case. I wanted to have some popular modules first to see where Eurorack goes for me. To see the most popular modules on ModularGrid, go to the modules section and sort by popular. This search is great to see what's out there, what's the common things that people use, to check information on each module, watch rated videos on YouTube. It's a great resource. As you can see, the first two entries on their popular section are Maths and Plaits, and I bought them both. ModularGrid is also a dangerous website because it's easy to just click Add button on every module you see and fill your entire rack with very expensive modules. Do your research and read the manuals. It explains how the module works. I think it's essential to read it before making any purchases. I didn't understand everything I was reading when I was going through the manual, but at least you start noticing patterns on what a mixer does, what a VCA does, different ways to use a filter. Some modules include patch examples, a sort of a preset if you come from the software world. I also enjoyed reading this book, Patch and Tweak, but if you don't want to spend any money, YouTube is your oyster. Some modules have one straightforward function, just a mixer, for instance. Other modules can have multiple functions and do a lot of things. This journey of finding different ways to use one module is kind of the joy of Eurorack. You can purchase modules from different brands. but all of them can talk to each other using voltage or sound. The modules that you want to get depend a lot on the kind of music that you want to make. If you want to make techno live sessions, if you want to record sounds into your computer for later use, or work with sequencers like the Keystep Pro. Some people just want to build a drum machine. I've also seen people use this with their electric guitar, just as an effects chain. And other people like me that want to have a little bit of everything. You also may need a sequencer. I already had a Keystep Pro that I use with my iPad, so that was a no-brainer. However, I also wanted to check generative music. And that's why I bought the Ornament Crime. But Ornament Crime can be used for a lot of things, so that's why it's so cool sometimes you find these modules that can have multiple purposes. One thing that surprised me is that you can buy everything from a single shop, especially if you want different brands and different modules. A lot of times the stock is very limited, and the result is that even if you have the money to spend on this and to buy all these modules, sometimes you may not find them right away. Some people suggest starting small, buy a small case, few modules, and see where it goes. I just went with a bigger case to allow for room. This is one thing I like about this case. There's enough room for you to close it while patch. Check this out. In hindsight, I think I did the right thing because I still have a little bit of room, but I ended up buying more stuff that I actually wanted to start with. The good news is that modules tend to hold value over time. You can always trade later or sell the whole thing if you need to buy a house. I plan to make videos sharing what I'm learning on the basic level, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. Let me show you some of the music I've been making with this. I've been enjoying creating sounds that later you discard everything and you have to start over again. And that's what's appealing to creating music with Eurorack. It's about learning new ways to patch your modules, while knowing that maybe you will never recreate that exact same sound ever again. Let me know in the comments if you're thinking about getting into Eurorack, and check out my Discord if you want to keep the conversation going. Don't forget to modulate that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be making more videos about these modules, so stay tuned for that. I'll put links in the descriptions with the products I use for making music, for making these videos with the Eurorack modules. Okay, I'm gonna go. See you on the next one. Bye.